The only thing is I want to make sure I get my money. And it looks like I'm gonna, as long as they don't try and steal the house money. That's another thing. When they sell the property out from under, when they steal that from me, I got a feeling they're gonna put that in the fucking trust. And then again, when I die, I don't get to decide who it goes to. I basically get to watch them from the great hereafter fucking pocket it. It'll go to them. So I'm really hoping that I get that money, like I got all the other money. Because that trust is not needed. The whole point of that trust was not to interfere with our disability stuff. Well, Jesse already checked with the fucking social worker. It won't. According to that social worker, we don't need these trusts. There's no benefit. There's nothing that it will affect our trust money. And and this is the thing, my sister said, well, mom wanted it. No, mom didn't. Mom signed the paperwork, and then she was the one working on. She told me about it. She's like, oh, I have to learn about it. Mom was not involved. Mom was in fucking bed with hospice while all of this bullshit was going on. Again, she can lie to herself. She can lie to everybody else, but she fucking knows. She fucking A knows what was going on. She was telling me about, oh yeah, I have to learn about these trusts, and I told her, Laura, I know more about these trusts than you do. I go, you can have one where you put your money into a trust. It's irrevocable at that point. And I go, it will not affect any of your disability money. I go, you can manage it yourself. And I go, and then when you die, anything that needs to be paid back into Medicare or whatever will go back into Medicare. They'll take it. And then after that, if there's any left, well, see, she don't want that. See, she don't get to fucking line her pockets with it. So that would be a big no-no. Can't have that. It's his money, but he can't leave it to whoever he wants. I don't want his fucking ex-wife to. Well, that's his choice. That's his fucking money. Whoever he wants to leave it to, that's his fucking call, not yours. He doesn't have to leave it to you so you can line your fucking pockets because you've turned down she was offered a job when she lost her job. She just didn't want to work nights. And I don't know if she ever looked again or not, but like her husband, when he lost a job, he worked for a union shop and he went into management, which is generally not a good idea. Generally, that does not work out well. While it was kind of like GM, they put him in there. They probably put him in an impossible position, and he couldn't do it. And they just wanted to ride his ass. Well, he fucking, I don't know if they fired him. I think they did fire him, and he just walked out. Well, then he didn't come begging for his job back, and they called him back in. Well, as soon as he got in there, they wanted to ride his ass again. And he's like, hey, you guys fired me. You called me back. I don't, he kind of walked out. But he ended up going and taking a different job. And he'd been there for years, and I don't think the place he's at now is union. But everything I heard about that place, I don't think they had a fucking good union. I really don't. And, but he didn't get to sit there and say, oh, I don't want to work nights. I don't want to work nights. I can't take it if it's, and that was the boat she was in. She really should have taken the job. Her one daughter was still in high school. I could kind of understand, but she really should have taken the night shift job. And after all these years, she might even be on day shift now, and she'd have a job. And from what I remember, my mom told me, now this didn't go on forever, but I know when she first lost her job, they ended up closing the place a couple years later. But when she lost her job, I remember my mom telling me that she was paying their taxes on the house, and there was some other shit going on. And she'd always say something to me. I go, Mom, she helps you out around here. If you want to pay her taxes, you pay her taxes. Ain't nobody's business. Just like if they wanted to leave me the house and the will, it wasn't anybody else's business, But now my sister has taken that, one step too far, where now she feels like she's got a right to take everybody's shit, or at least mine and my brother's. And so I don't know. I just don't know. And But when I mentioned to my brother that, when mom was, and again, I just figured, oh, she's not healthy, this just, and I go, told him, I go, yeah, I go, I didn't listen to her. I just wrote it off because how sick she was. But I go, mom, the one day told me that she thought my sister wanted to get her hands on the inheritance because her and her husband were living beyond their means. Well, that happened. While my mom was paying their tax, at least I'm going by what my mom told me, and this was, oh, fuck. This is probably like, if not 10 years ago, close to 10 years ago, because it happened after I moved to Indiana. And, but while she was paying their taxes, my brother-in-law, he got his boat paid for, bought a brand new boat, bigger one, had to make payments on that. And then he eventually bought a cabin. I don't know if it was I don't know if he's still making payments on the boat, or I don't know if that was after he got the payments on that boat. And now I don't think he goes fishing anymore in that boat because of the gas prices. He bought one that you have to drive to some place like Lake. You can't use it in any of the lakes around here. You have to go fishing over there on Lake Michigan to use it. Well, I think the gas is too fucking expensive, and it was causing wear and tear on his car. So I don't even think he goes fishing anymore that much. And but I think after he bought the cabin, I think that's when my mom was like, well, if you guys got money to buy a fucking another piece of property, you got your own money to pay your fucking house taxes. Because like years ago, this would have been like 20, 30 years ago, he was talking about he wasn't paying his taxes. My sister was. And his own brother was like, well, you got to pay your taxes. Oh, what are they going to do? It's like, well, they'll fucking take your house from you. And his brother kind of told me, well, they'll take oh, no, it's my house. I don't have to pay taxes. It's like, he fucking didn't know. Well, apparently he figured it out. And started paying his tax. But I think that's where my mom drew the line when they were, she's paying their fucking shit. And then they can go afford to buy a cabin somewhere, and, and see now by them stealing the house, by them putting our money into accounts, like I said, my brother's getting screwed over a way lot worse than me. But by them putting that stuff into accounts that they will then get when he dies, they can keep funding that. It's just, I think they're eventually going to be screwed. If they live long enough, they're going to both be eventually screwed. But it at least funds them for another decade or another few years until it's a problem. They had his father's inheritance, and they've probably gone through that in the last couple of years. And I don't know that they're out of money, but and then sooner or later they're going to be out on this. Because he's already, I don't know if he's changed his mind, but I know at the funeral my nephew was telling me, he's already telling people at work he's retiring next year. Well, as soon as they don't have an income, I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna be surprised at how much they get out of Social Security, and I think they're gonna be surprised, and it's just gonna be a matter of time. That's the only thing that gives me comfort. Is like sooner or later they're gonna be fucked, and then there won't be any more money. Because they're not going to be able to, and they're not going to be able to get mine. I'm taking care of that right now. If Jesse's smart, he will play that fucking trust where he will tell them he needs like, $2,000 a month or something like that, or $3,000 a month, and have them pay him every month, and whatever he doesn't need, put it into your own trust or put it into your own account, and he'll follow the language of that trust. And get that money out of there, because every penny he gets out of there is a penny that they can't fucking steal and use it for their own purpose after he dies. And if he's smart, he'll get his will done so that he doesn't leave them any money. I've mentioned a couple times, look, I'm not telling you what to do, but if you are going to leave me as a beneficiary, I wish you'd get off your ass and do it, and get a will done. Get a will done so that they don't, because I got to be honest with you. Me and him, I think that's the smartest thing we can do right now is to just make sure that they're not going to inherit any of our stuff after we're gone. If they want to pull this shit, then fine. You are on your fucking own. I'm gonna go drop these off. Yeah, I screwed up when I went to that village. I bought stuff and I should have put it on like my gear, so as I was buying it I was like repairing everything and I didn't think that far ahead. That was my fault. And then I went to the grocery store, and this is one thing I will give her credit for. She was out here at the beginning of the week, and she let us know that, you know, there was like a massive storm coming. It's supposed to be here by today. It sounds like it ain't going to come until it says snow coming on my computer, but it sounds like we're not going to get the worst of it until tomorrow. And so I went out and got milk and pop and, you know, and stuff, just make sure I wasn't going to run out of food. And yeah, I won't know for sure, but I let my sister know that going through that, I've been kind of going through that disability stuff, and I told her, I go, barring some kind of a, you know, fallback or, you know, something, some plan falling through, I told her, I go, it kind of looks like I'll be able to be ready to go mid-January, mid-February, somewhere in that range. They're going to sell all the stuff like end of March, I think it is. And hate to think of it this way, but it's like I'm trying to find some kind of a, this is just really bad terminology, I guess, but I'm trying to find some kind of a final solution for my housing thing and a final solution for my health. And I'm hoping I can do it all in one little swift move. It's like I was talking to my brother. I told him, I go, look, you don't have to be in any hurry to go, but I go, you definitely want to be out of here by like the end of February, March. Because I told him, I go, I'm not fighting this. Not right now. I go, I can't be in the middle of fighting and then have them sell the house out from under me. And, you know, because I got no guarantees. I really don't. And, so I told him, I go, you know, then there's reasons for it, but you should really, you know, don't be in any hurry. If you find a place, just, you know, maybe put it on, hang on a little bit. The longer you can stay here, the better. But, I go, as soon as they get all the stuff sold out of here, which will be in March, then they're probably going to work on selling the house. And I told him, I go, if you fuck around, you might end up on the street. And he said, he goes, well, I mentioned to her, they got a thing called emergency housing, where if he does fuck around, it sounds like they can get him in there temporarily, but it's only supposed to be for like 6 months or something like that. And I go, yeah, you want to avoid that. I go, so just take your time, try and find a permanent solution. See, he's got more health problems than I do, at least on paper. And so it might be harder for them to find, it might be harder for him to find a place to go. You know, again, and everything could fall through, but that's kind of where that's my mindset right now, is that it's just a matter of time. And I'll just And if you're watching this and you see me throwing out the totems and stuff, I got like a double chest full of totems right now, so... Yeah, it's telling me I'm unable to ban this user. Let's go unload. Yeah, I went to the grocery store this week and I picked up a. We did it for Thanksgiving, so I picked up another. It's only like an 11 pounder, but like between me and my brother, we pretty much ate the drumsticks. Oh, it was like the drumsticks and the leg. That was well, my brother I think had a little bit of the breast meat. I don't think I had that much. We were able to give some to the cats, which they really enjoyed. And but I got another one for Christmas, and I asked him, because we used to do this on Christmas Eve, and I go, you want to do it Christmas Day or Christmas Eve? He goes, let's do it Christmas Day, because he's got to do dialysis Christmas Eve. And I told him, I go, I really don't care. If I cared, I wouldn't have asked. I'd have just told you when it was. And so we got that going on, and then I don't know what we're gonna do for New Year's. Might do another turkey, because when you do that turkey, we got, it was like basically we had damn near the whole turkey breast left over, and we were able to eat several meals off of that. So for the two of us, that was actually a pretty good deal. And then I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream because I got to piss, and I'm not sure I'm gonna make it right back up. And then I'm gonna work on reporting that guy that I can't ban. Yeah, if the guy actually came on and paid attention, he'd find out I don't, I'm, 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 I'm gonna be homeless pretty soon, or at least in, some kind of shit housing somewhere, because I'm getting my house stolen out from that I should have inherited. I'm on disability. He'd know I can't afford to be doing. I'm lucky to be able to pay for internet right now. Peace out, and I hope everybody has a good day.